The Nook.
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 Well, hello there, ladies, gentlemen, others.
Hello. Welcome in, everyone, to the pilot episode of the NookCast with your hosts, Joe Crastination and KL. How are you today, Joe?
Doing well. Shitting metaphorical bricks as we do the first podcast.
My heart has not raced this hard since I think like my first week on Twitch. But, oh man, guys, we're really excited to be here today to kick off the first ever live podcast for the Nook Twitch team. I guess I'll go over what you're going to expect with this podcast. We're going to be discussing and diving into a wide variety of topics related to streaming and content creation in general. We're going to be bringing on a number of guests in the future, a significant amount of Nook members, and possibly some others too that maybe even aren't on the Nook Twitch team, but can provide some insight into things that we'll be discussing. We do want to use this podcast to communicate out our Nook news to you all, as well as just talk about industry news, and just dive into anything and everything streaming related content creation. We really are all passionate about Twitch, and we want to share that with you all. And we hope that it'll give you some extra eyes and insight into the people that make up our wonderful team as well, because we do plan on having a bunch of Nook friends on this podcast with us. So Joe and I are going to be the recurring hosts for this podcast. So I guess it's best that we introduce ourselves in case you don't know us. I'll go first. I'm KL, and I started streaming almost exactly 1 year ago. My 1 year anniversary is on Thursday.
Oh,
I stream, right? I know, it's scary. I can't believe it's been a year. And I stream primarily first playthroughs of single player role playing games. I am a new gamer, so Twitch has been my motivation to finally start playing some new games. And it's been really fun. I really am enjoying everything about Twitch. I was invited to join the Nook team back in April. And through the Nook, I've just met so many amazing people, and I don't foresee myself ever stopping anytime soon. And I have a wonderful pit bull named Ella who is featured on my stream. So if you like dogs, definitely got to swing by and come hang out. She is amazing. She pretty much is like 75% of the stream anyway. So
that seems to be with most casters that have animals.
Yeah,
animals
people
take over.
The dogs, the cats, everyone loves them. Like Hell also has an amazing dog. Twiggy has an amazing dog on stream. So just go send love to all of the dog streamers out there.
I guess that leads to me. Then I'm Joe Crastination, aka Joe, formerly the Glass Cannon, and also formerly MFC. That's me. I've been on Twitch for a very long time. I've been here since it was called Justin TV, but I didn't get to actually try and stream until about 2.5 years ago, and so I've been streaming since then, and I've loved every second of it. I stream anything that's piquing my interest. If it looks cool and like I'd like it, then I'm there.
Everything.
And I joined the Nook in February. I'd actually known Twiggy for probably the longest. Like right around when I first started streaming, I met Twiggy, and then I met Tug sometime during the year before. And then when I saw that they were making a team together, I decided to give it a shot, and here we are.
Best team on Twitch.
Absolutely.
We're so biased though.
No, not biased at all. We are the best.
No, yeah, we are. All right. So now that you know a little bit about us, we're just going to let you know what to expect on this podcast today. It's kind of hard to figure out what to start with. Joe, I think you and I wanted something that was vague enough that we could talk a lot about it and have enough to fill up maybe an hour's worth of content, but something that would also be relevant in case we have anyone possibly that is watching that maybe doesn't stream and has been thinking about it. The topic we're going to cover today is how to begin streaming, where to start.
Oh, boy.
Before we get into that, though, we are going to go over some Nook team news, and we are going to talk about some recent industry and gaming news, and also have some fun with you all watching and have you guess one of our out of context quotes, because that has been one of the most popular things on our Twitter. And there is no shortage, guys, of out of context quotes. So we're going to bring one of them onto this podcast with every episode as well. And then just as a heads up for all of you watching, for this podcast and all of them moving forward, Joe and I and any guests will not be reading the chat or interacting with the chat. The intent of this is to mimic a recorded podcast, and therefore if anyone's watching after the fact on YouTube, they're not going to get lost if we're going back and forth with the chat. With the out of context quote portion, we will be looking at you guys, though. We will say hello to you guys, but for the most part, this is going to be Joe and I talking. And then for today, we don't have any guests on with today for the debut episode. I think Joe and I just kind of want to get a feel for this and see kind of what the flow is going to be. Just kind of get our feet wet. We're just going to like dip our toes in this.
Make it so I'm not crazy. Anxiety ridden about it. All right. So, Nook updates. Let's dive into that. We have some celebrations to do here. We need all of you guys in chat to get really excited to welcome in our newest Nook member, which is the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented Mom Games Hard. Mom Games Hard in, Mom
is our newest member of the Nook, and she is absolutely wonderful. If you are into The Sims 4, definitely go check her out. She is doing right now this like Sims Survivor thing, which is neat. Crazy. It's awesome. Like, it's super cool. She is such a wonderful person. Definitely got to go check her out. Twitch.tv/MomGamesHard. I don't know if Mom is here today, but if you are, Mom, we love you. And you're such a wonderful part of this team. We're so happy to have you here.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. And then we need to give another massive, massive congratulations to...
It's astounding.
Maria, the partner one. Maria, the partner one. Maria is a partner, a Twitch partner. She just became a Twitch partner. What, a week ago? Has it been a week?
Today isn't she doing her celebration, right?
She is, guys. Maria is live right now doing her partner celebration stream. So if you want to run over there and give her a massive congratulations, please do so if you haven't already.
Congratulations. Partner's no joke.
So well deserved. So I found Maria way back in September of last year. Like, I had been on Twitch 2 weeks streaming, and I found her through someone else. So I've actually been following her the longest out of all the Nook members. And I'm honestly, I think back in a year ago, she was streaming to like 20 viewers, like average. Like her growth this year has just been astounding. So awesome. So well deserved. Yeah, she is such a great streamer. If you guys have not had a chance to go and watch any of Maria's streams, please go do so. She is absolutely wonderful. So yes, big hype, big love in chat. Congratulations to both Mom and Maria. We love you both.
Wait, do I have a button for that? I do. There it is.
Thanks. That was amazing. I heard that too, which was, I didn't think I was going to hear that.
Oh yeah, I got it.
All right, moving on, guys. We need to talk about the big dig. If you heard all the kerfuffle and I do apologize if you hear my dog back there. The big dig. You might be wondering, yeah, what is this big dig thing that I've been hearing about and reading about online? The big dig is 14 Nookians and 1 hardcore Minecraft save file. Well, I think it's supposed to be 1, but here's the thing. If any of them die, they have to restart a new save file in a new world. And we have had 5 deaths so far. 4 deaths so far. 4.
Wait,
we're on save number 5.
Who's ruined it for everybody?
Well, Hecky was the first. Hecky was the first death. Then we had Bloody Drongo, who died an amazing death. And then King Argroth succumbed to, what are they called? I'm not a Minecraft player.
I don't play Minecraft either.
It's the creepers, right? It's the creepers, right?
The green guys. Yeah, those guys.
And then the best death of them all so far was Mark, part-time triggered. Came out of nowhere. It was an assassin creeper that just got him. Anyway, guys, I'm Space Shark is literally live right at this moment with the Big Dig save file, playing it right now. So would recommend that when you're done hanging out here for this podcast, immediately go to Space Shark. In fact, we'll probably most likely raid her. and send all of you guys to continue watching the Big Dig Shenanigans. It has been awesome. It's been super fun. Not sure yet if this will be like a annual recurring thing. I think probably. I think everyone that's participated has been having a really good time. I've played all of 5 minutes of Minecraft. I don't know if I'll ever raise my own hand for it, but
I've never played Minecraft.
It's been fun to watch, though. It's been really fun to watch. Would recommend. And lastly, the last Nook news that we have for you is the Nook Spotlight. So we have the NookCast, but we also have the Nook Spotlight. The Nook Spotlight is being run and managed and produced by the wonderful Hampy, and that is going to be kind of the second podcast in addition to this one. That one is going to be pre-recorded and uploaded to our Nook YouTube channel. Exclamation YouTube in the chat if you do not have the link for that. Please go give us a subscription over there.
It's so weird.
And then you will get...
It's a subscription over on YouTube.
I know. It's so weird to say that. It's like, follow us on YouTube. I mean, it technically is a follow.
Yeah, but I guess they had that term a long while ago. So.
Yeah. But the intention is that we're going to try and have this podcast be as close to every 2 weeks as possible. And then the Nook Spotlight will be thrown in on the alternating weeks. So ideally, we want to push out weekly content to you guys in the podcasts, and we're really excited about it. But what the Nook Spotlight is Hampy is interviewing us one-on-one. So you guys get to hear all of us talk for like over an hour about ourselves. And Hampy is a wonderful interviewer. And yeah, go give us a follow on YouTube. And once those videos start coming out next week, would strongly recommend.
Aren't you up to bat first?
Mine is the first, yes.
Oh.
Mine is the first. So, if you guys just want to know more about the people that make up the Nook, I would strongly recommend watching those. It's going to be really fun. I had so much fun with Hampy, and yeah, he's been doing an amazing job with that. So big props and ups to Hampy for all the hard work he is doing.
Good job, Hampy. This shit's
on that
hard.
Podcast. It is. It is.
It's terrifying.
I think ours more so because it's live, but I know Hampy was nervous for his too. But he's done such a great job. So, I think that's it for Nick. Or I was about to say Nick news. It's not Nick news. It's Nook news. Pretty sure that's it for Nook news for right now.
Don't come after us.
No. All right. Let's transition into some Twitch and gaming news, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, let's talk about this news because I, for one, Joe, I don't know about you, but this was a big surprise to me.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought he was going to go the way of Dr. Disrespect, especially given the numbers that he pulled over on YouTube when he came back.
Yep. Like, when Mixer announced that they were kind of shutting things down, I mean, we didn't hear from Ninja for a while, and then he just randomly went to YouTube and did a live stream over there and pulled in some serious numbers, and I think everyone was like, okay, he's moving to YouTube. There's no way he's coming back to Twitch. They didn't have a great parting.
Especially with the shenanigans Twitch was pulling with his channel when he left. Right. So yeah, needless to say, this was like a massive, like, what announcement that came out, I think anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, exclusive multi-year deal back on Twitch. His little like video that he made though, I don't know if this was just me, but if we watch this like 12-second clip that him and Twitch both shared on their Twitter, he doesn't look super like thrilled in it.
Yo, Ninja's got long hair now. Look at this.
Corona, dude. COVID.
He got that
quarantine.
Rona hair. Honestly, he doesn't. He just like, all right, we're back in the saddle again. They gave me money. Let's do it.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That's just how I watched that and I was just like, like, I'm happy that Shroud is back, like, just to like kind of switch to the other person here. Like, I'm happy for Shroud. I think him and Twitch, he's one of the, like, how sometimes in life when you have to make a career move or like a job change and you're not leaving the company that you're with because of like any crap going on there, right? You've got grass that's greener on the other side and you're just going to like go and smell it and feel it and see how it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've left plenty of jobs in the past. Yeah, like I've left plenty of jobs in the past where like there was no hard feelings and it's just like, listen, I have to do this for me and I just have to see what it's all about. Like that was Shroud leaving Twitch. And Twitch was like, yeah, bro, whatever, that's fine. And so when, Mixer decided to not continue anymore, I mean, I'm sure Shroud was like, hey guys, like, we're cool, right? Can I come back? I'm just,
there's definitely a big difference between their departures from Twitch to Mixer. between the two of them.
For sure. But yeah, I don't know. This one was surprising to me because I mean, Ninja, like, he's got such a big community over on YouTube. I mean, he's constantly uploading videos over there that get an insane amount of views. And that live stream he did, that was like, for me, I just thought that was for sure. Like, oh yeah, he's moving to YouTube, and that's just the test stream. So yeah, when this news came out 2 days ago, I was very, very surprised. I was very surprised.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like maybe YouTube didn't offer, probably wasn't offering Ninja as much just because like their platform isn't streaming, at least not currently. They have streaming is there, but like they make
that could be
all of their stuff is just videos, and he's already posting videos over there. So like,
there's
no real incentive for them.
I feel like that could be a whole other topic, is just talking about like the things that you like, the small things that YouTube could do to completely take over Twitch, in my humble opinion.
Oh yeah,
because like
they've got the infrastructure and everything for it. Absolutely.
They do. And it would just be so nice if, I mean, yeah, on Twitch, you have the ability to upload videos. Sure. Like you do. But just the way that Twitch is laid out on your channel for your past broadcasts, or like, you know, people will highlight their entire past broadcasts and throw a thumbnail on it. But for some reason, like, I just prefer the way YouTube actually lays it out.
Yeah.
For discoverability of those videos.
It's tried, true. It's been around since forever now. And then they do, like, they have their algorithm, which, you know, people over on YouTube seem to hate, but like me, since I don't make content on YouTube, algorithm is fine. It recommends me videos, and I get lost into it until all wee hours of the night, and eventually end up in the weird part of YouTube. Yep. I think it rolls that way for everybody. Or you wonder, like, I feel like this has been happening the last year, but YouTube will recommend you a video that was uploaded like 5 years ago, and you're like, why is this all of a sudden? Yeah,
right
I love
now?
watching. I love looking in the comments on those videos because everybody is like, why now?
Who's watching in 2020? Everybody. Yeah. Anyway, so this is pretty big news for those of you watching. I mean, I'm sure that this was, if you're on Twitter at all, you probably would have seen it. But yeah, we just wanted to touch about it because honestly, like this was just really surprising. Yeah, I mean, to me,
obviously, like the people at the top of Twitch, like it's, if you're on the platform, it's hard to like not pay attention to them. You know.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you know, I didn't go into Ninja's first stream back. I didn't care to, but Shroud's first stream back, oh, I was there. I was there waiting with everybody else. I was just like, I don't know. The fact that he was pulling in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers and like just being there to witness like the way that chat was going and some people dropping like an insane amount of subs. I don't know, like, and I just wanted to observe him also because I can't imagine streaming.
Oh, he looks good with the facial hair.
You think he looks good? People are so divided about this.
Really? I think he looks. I'm like who? At first, like when I saw it, they said it was Shroud, and I looked, and he had like the rimless glasses, and I was like, holy crap, this man owns a company.
People are saying he looks like Adam Sandler in whatever.
Oh, like, the I can't remember, something gems, Uncut Gems.
I'm not an Adam Sandler
he does look like that.
fan, but yeah, but yeah. I don't know. People are so divided. Like I remember Twitter was like, oh, I hate hair, and then people are like, it's not that bad. I didn't think it looked that bad, but the people that are on the side of it looks terrible, or like they don't prefer it, is like they're just like, no, it looks awful, and I'm just like, man, don't just. I think he
looks like he's all grown up now.
He's super professional looking, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway. Great news, though. I guess congrats, Ninja, for continuing to earn millions of dollars.
Yeah, just raking in the money.
All right. The next piece of we're going to switch to industry news now. Guys, we have to talk about the new Xbox because holy crap. As someone who does not own a console yet and has been leaning towards like, oh, yeah, PlayStation 4 or 5, I saw this and I was like, wait a second. Yes, PS exclusives. Yes, I get it. I do want to play The Last of Us eventually one day. Mm-hmm. But then I look at this and I'm like, this price though. And I used to play an Xbox back in the day. That's what my brother and I had. When we were kids. We had the N64 and then we had a PS1 and then we got an Xbox. And the Xbox we had the longest. And I don't have anything bad to say about Xbox, but let's talk about this. What are your thoughts?
I've never been an Xbox person. But I've always I always wanted to kind of get into their stuff. Like they had Halo, they had Gears of War, and Fable? See, this is my issues. Like, you see how I had a hard time naming 3 games from Xbox? Like, that's my issue, is like they've got Microsoft behind them. Of course they've got the hardware. Like, they can make a powerful console, but I don't care if it doesn't have the games. Which honestly, I think that like the price on this, like it's amazing on the S. Like, what you're getting for the price is absolutely amazing. And then on top of that, if you can just pay a monthly subscription to like have like gaming Netflix essentially for that system, that's fantastic, especially, you know, for families with kids, you know.
It's interesting that you just called it gaming Netflix, because that's kind of like how I'm seeing this. So I have the Xbox Game Pass for the PC. And with that, I play Sea of Thieves. I just downloaded Crusader Kings 3. I still haven't attempted that or even launched it yet, but I would like to, because that's the nice thing is like the Game Pass allows you to try so many games without committing to actually buying them. And like, don't get me wrong, like I prefer paying for games outright. Like, there's something that I like about actually owning something. But I mean, the pro of our world going to this like subscription based format where you pay a fee and get access to this whole library of things, like I do like that. Like, so the Game Pass for me, it's nice because now I can try these games.
Yeah, I've actually
and then
yet
if
to
I
try
really
it.
like,
Game Pass.
So, and then $24.99 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play.
Oh, that's right. They did tack EA Play on there.
They have, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it is a good deal. But luckily for me, see, I've got myself a nice shiny PC, which apparently, like, that's another issue I have with Xbox, is like they keep pushing all the hardware, but like as a person who plays PC games, I'm like, it feels like I would never buy an Xbox because I have a PC, but I can understand that there are people that don't. So like, it seems like the Xbox ecosystem, like, it's just not meant for me. But like, I can definitely look at it and see the value in it.
Yeah. And I suppose like too, you know, because I'm a PC gamer also. And the only reason why is because the game that got me back into gaming as an adult was City Skylines, which I was not about to play on a console. That is definitely, in my opinion, a PC game.
Oh yeah. Oh man, there's just some things that a controller shouldn't be allowed to do.
Yeah. And I don't know, like it seems like most games, I mean, you know, you take out the PS exclusive, but it seems like most games, you know, are available on multiple platforms. And so, you know, the nice thing too with PC gaming that I really like is the ability to mod. Like I've modded Stardew Valley and Dragon Age Inquisition. You know, modding is fun. Modding is super fun. And the modders out there, those talented individuals that just build things to enhance the games we love. I absolutely love them.
I mean, like Bethesda's entire model on gaming has been to release a game in a buggied state so their players can fix it and make a better game than them.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know, like for me, the thing is too, I mean, I think the Xbox is going to be great for like a family. So maybe a family, like young couple with 2 young kids, where they have a computer, but they use that for like, you know, the email, the Facebook, the little bit of social media maybe, but they prefer to sit on the couch in front of the TV and play games that way as a family. That's how I've always seen console in my mind, because that's how my brother and I played. My brother and I would sit side by side, each with a controller, and we would just sit in front of the TV for hours, and that's how we'd play. And those types of experiences are still in demand. But I mean, for myself, primarily playing single player games, I mean, then PC works great. Like I don't mind sitting here at all and being on the computer.
That's generally why I do go towards, like, I mean, I've been like, PlayStation has always been my primary system. It's the system I always grab first, and then Nintendo I grab once Mario and Zelda are out, because those are like, other games are great for Nintendo, but like I buy Nintendo systems for Mario and Zelda. But for PlayStation, it is because I play single player games. I don't play it with, and I think that was like even I remember back in high school, like if you, like me and my friends, like they all got Xbox because they wanted to play Halo or Call of Duty or whatever together on Xbox Live. But I preferred single player RPGs, and so like I always stuck with PlayStation because like that's
Right.
what they focused on and released, and it's still what they focus on and released, and they're doing an amazing job. So
Well, it's funny. So back in March, when Animal Crossing, everybody was like, "Oh my
the
god, Animal
world
Crossing
was
New
playing
Horizons!"
Animal
Like,
Crossing.
you know, people started playing the game, and I was watching them, and to me, it just felt like, "Oh, this is a game for like." Literally, the thought that went through my mind was, "Oh, this is a game for like 7-year-olds." But then I watched people on Twitch play it and have so much fun with it, and then I was like, and then major FOMO hit me, and I'm just like, "I want this game now." So when I was looking online, I debated hard between the actual Switch console, and the Switch Lite. And ultimately, I went with the Switch Lite just because of the fact that like I couldn't see myself actually sitting in my living room and playing that game. I'm like, this is going to be a game I play in bed, like before I go to sleep for the night. And that's ultimately, and the cheaper price had a bit of an influence. But for me, that was ultimately what caused that. And once again, I thought, oh, it's just going to be Animal Crossing. But now I've got Mario Kart 8 on the Lite, and I've got Stardew Valley on the Lite, and I've got.
Yeah, Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo. My only gripe with Nintendo is like they make amazing games. None of them go on sale, ever. And then Nintendo likes to spit in my face and like give like a $6 discount. I'm like, thanks, Nintendo. All right, thanks. Really?
Yeah, true that. But no, I think honestly, like, I think in the console world of gaming, I think that this Xbox Series S is going to be a big win.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that the Game Pass adding on EA Play is going to be a big win. And you know, at first you can go, oh, $25 a month, like it's a bit of
it depends
monthly...
on how much they like. I know, like I've never gone and looked, but from my understanding, there's already hundreds of games on there, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
For people to just go and play. And if they constantly like, and if their model is going to be bringing like, even if it's not like the brand newest of games, even if it's games that have come out within like the last 6 months and they're just constantly throwing them up on there for those that subscribe, like, I mean, it'll, even if it doesn't feel great at first, eventually it will be worth it just because the backlog will stack up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, great win. And I mean, if you guys don't like, I love how this ended up being, there's all this conspiracy about the leak because like it was leaked online and then Xbox turned that and flipped it into the greatest marketing
on the internet. Like they all feel orchestrated at this point.
That's where I was going with, like, there's all this conspiracy online that like, oh, Xbox like orchestrated this leak to be like, oh no, information got leaked. I think it was the thing of like where they try to put themselves in a position because they've been like in this waiting. Like, I don't know why Sony and Microsoft are like waiting to release the prices and their game lineups for their systems, but they are, and they're in this competition. And I think Xbox was getting a little tired of it, so they're like, all right, we're just gonna act like it got leaked, and then we're just gonna release the information. Like, oh well, we might as well now. Sorry, it's not our fault. Right. And then there's been some talk online about how like maybe now that we know the price of what the Xbox is, will that, because the PS hadn't released their prices yet, will that influence? Will PS maybe reduce their prices? It's hard to know. I don't know if they will. I think that PlayStation knows that their market loves PlayStation. And I'm still being pressured by friends to get a PlayStation because I've got friends that play Overwatch and all these other games exclusively on the PS4, even Fall Guys. They all play it on the PS. And of course I can't, and I can't play with them. But yeah, I don't know. I'd
advocate for the PlayStation as well.
I know. I just don't know yet. I don't know yet what I want to do. But anyway, all right. Last bit of news for the day, guys. Twitch Sings shutting her down.
Well,
boom. Closing January 1st. Womp, womp.
I would never be caught dead on Twitch Sings, but
okay.
I am sad for everybody that did enjoy it. It seems like there's a lot of people that enjoyed doing like posting their stuff up and then like doing duets with other people, and like, it seems to be like a really nice group of people around it.
So I was very firm on never doing Twitch Sings ever, and then I did it, and it actually was super fun.
Was it?
Granted, I was drinking, so I had a little bit of a influence in me to help me out with like nerves and stuff. But yeah, it was
liquid courage.
It was a little bit, yeah. But it was super fun. I did it for a stream once. It wasn't even that long ago, but It is fun. And the thing that saddens me the most about this is that like there are streamers on this platform that have built themselves up in the Twitch Sings category, and that's where they've gotten like their community from. And it's like, what do they do now? Like that's gonna be a big, like there's no other
I do hope
there's
that
nothing
once,
else for them to go to unless there's a competitor out there or someone that takes this news and builds something that, because I mean, we don't know why they're shutting it down. All they say is we decided to invest in broader tools and services that will help support and grow the entire music community on Twitch. Because of this, we were deciding to close Twitch Sings. The songs on Twitch Sings were like covers, basically. It wasn't the actual band really like, well, it's weird. Some songs did have the actual vocalist track in them, but briefly, like it wasn't the whole song. And then others were very clearly covers. It wasn't the actual singer. It wasn't the actual song. So I don't know if they were having like DMCA issues.
I'd have to imagine, especially because they're saying that on December 1st, they're going to start just removing all videos and clips of Sings completely, which makes me think that there was an issue like maintaining the rights to even, I guess, the covered versions of the songs as well. So
on December 1st, we'll begin removing Sings videos and clips per our contractual obligations. Which is weird to me because it's like, doesn't Twitch own Twitch Sings? Like what contractual obligations
I have no clue. I don't know.
Are they
Sometimes I don't
to?
know why Twitch does the things that they do. They do weird things.
Yep. But yeah, no, I don't know. This news kind of made me a bit sad because I honestly was, and I mean, I might still have like one more Twitch Sings before things start getting shut down on first, where they start going in and removing videos. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that it would be cool if, because this, like, I'm not gonna lie, this makes me nervous for the music community on Twitch, just overall in general. Because when all this DMCA stuff was starting a little while ago, and people were kind of going frantic about like removing their clips and changing their alerts and everything. Like it seemed like that lasted all of like 2 weeks, and then that news and stuff just kind of died down and went away.
It was weird. I remember there was like a big phobia around, like, even like I watch, like, one of the casters I watch a lot is Man vs. Game. And like he's been streaming for like a decade, but even he's been like he was going back and deleting like really old VODs because he was like terrified that his channel would get deleted, and like he was just playing like really generic music at the beginning of his streams just to like avoid any possible chance for a company to come after him. So like, it was weird, and then all of a sudden it just went away, and like nobody is worried about it anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. Like, I understand so there's a streamer that I follow that did actually have a takedown notice. And after 3 of those, you do get banned from the platform completely, and you can't, So I think someone that has had an actual notice before would definitely take this a lot more seriously than others that maybe haven't had one at all. Just because, I mean, I feel like if I had a strike against my channel, like I would absolutely turn things around and make sure that I didn't have anything on my channel.
Wanted to make your own music real quick.
Yeah, like admittedly, I still have like some brief songs, for a little bit. Like thankfully, because I play role-playing games, like the game music is, I don't have anything playing in the background.
Most of the time, like the music is a pretty big immersive tool within RPGs.
Yeah. But also too, but then you play a game like Fallout New Vegas that has a soundtrack that is normal songs that,
amazing.
Then you go back to...
Never played Fallout, but I love their soundtracks.
It is an amazing soundtrack, but it's actual artists and bands out there that, with songs that, can get flagged technically. And so this whole like topic of DMCA though is just, it's a tricky one to navigate and to talk about. Cause I feel like everyone's kind of in the same boat where it's like, you're just going to do what you're going to do until you get a strike.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then that's going to be the kick in the butt to actually, I don't know, adjust things. But yeah, it's just interesting with this Twitch Sings news. Like, hopefully, I'd rather see Twitch make things work to like, because I don't want to see the music harmed on Twitch. And to be honest, like most musicians on Twitch are not doing 100% original music. Like people absolutely are doing covers. Like one of my favorite streamers ever on this platform is a drummer who has the song playing. It's the actual vocals and the actual guitar and bass. It's just the drum track is missing, and he's the one that fills that in.
Oh,
but because
that's cool.
but because it sounds so close to the actual song, his VODs get muted all the time. And when all this DMCA news was coming out, like, he was genuinely worried. He's just like, how am I supposed to deal with this? Because this is what I do. Like, that's the type of drummer he is. Like, he plays weddings and stuff, right? So, and he's a partner. Like, he's a Twitch partner. So, you know, I know when all this was coming out, like, he told his community that he was going to be reaching out to his partner rep at Twitch to be like, am I okay? Like, am I safe from this? Because if I'm not, like, this is it for, I don't know what else to do. So, but yeah, crazy news though. Well, with that, I think we're going to flip now to the out of context quote for the stream. Guys, for this, we're going to actually make a poll. Can I not do that as a mod? I should be able to. Unrecognized command.
Uh-oh.
Is that like a setting that needs to be enabled? We could always, Tug, I do. Since you actually own the channel, maybe we'll get you to throw it in a poll for us. Can only do polls as an affiliate, you think? Hey, Cave, how's it going?
Oh, is it really?
Man. Oh, polls are affiliate only.
Polls are affiliate only? What a weird thing to put behind the affiliate wall.
Thanks, Twitch.
God, Twitch, you really are the greatest, aren't you?
All right. So yeah, Tug just said he can't do it either. Oh man.
Yeah, we can do a straw poll.
We could, yeah. All right. So the out of context quote for the podcast today is, and I quote, "This team is responsible for the growth of my penis. Thanks very much. 1 for Chubbs, 2 for Dauntless, 3 for Middle-Aged Stream, 4 for Lexi." And go. Numbers in chat, folks. Got a couple 4s. I'll read out the quote again. "This team is responsible for the growth of my penis. Thanks very much. Chubbs, Daunt, Jimbles, aka Middle-Aged Stream, and Lexi." Honestly, it could be any of them. It could be any of them.
It could be.
We've got some 4s. I see more 4s. We have some 2s. Oh, I think actually we have got more 2s than we've got anything else. They talk about peen a lot. They do. They do, Mom. They do. Although it could be any of them. Can I change my answer to Daunt? You can. I can literally hear Lexi's voice in my head saying that. I hope it's not 2. Oh. It was fun coming up with the other 3 people to be like, who could say this on the team? So we intentionally made this one a little bit hard for you guys, but I'm not judging. I talk about it too. Fair. All right. With that, we need like a drum roll, like sound command or something, but I'll just do it on my desk.
I got like, nope, that's not it. There it is. That's the only drum I got.
All right. You can play that after I announce who it is. All right. That was said by the wonderful, the lovely Dauntless.
Nailed it. Got it.
Perfect. I made this one hard for you guys. Hey, I'll get here. Get out of here. Just kidding. Hello, how are you? All right. That was fun. We might end up, if you guys are interested, maybe since we can't, we'll plan for a poll next time. Honestly, we thought that we could do a poll in chat, but we'll have this ready to go for you
Twitch
guys.
Just likes to
future podcasts.
Step right
we'll
in the
have
way.
actual polls. All right. So with that, let us transition to the actual like meat of the podcast today, which is how to start streaming, which is such a broad topic, but Joe and I we're gonna touch on quite a few aspects of it. And I think probably the best place, Joe, for us to start out with this is let's each just kind of share our own personal experiences with how we got started streaming and also kind of why, but let's maybe go into like the equipment we used, and then what content we kind of decided to start streaming right off the bat. I don't know if you want to take this one first or if I should.
I can go. The equipment. Okay. Well, let me try and when I first started streaming, I'd wanted to stream for a long time. Because I'd been watching broadcasters on Twitch since like I got out of high school, which was 2009. Like I started watching on Justin TV, and then it transferred into Twitch.
Are we the same age?
Are we?
I graduated 09 too.
Oh, so you're old as well.
Oh.
That's nice. And so
we're not old.
I've been watching streamers for a long time, and in streaming. I guess I'll just go right into why I wanted to start streaming. I'd watch streamers and they got me through like really tough times in my life where I was just like, I hated like most of my day. And when I get home from work late at night, like I would just turn on a couple of Twitch streamers and I'd just sit there and allow them to get me out of my life, even for a moment. Right. And then even after things got better, I still stuck around on Twitch. It's nice. It became my new Family Guy in the background, of whatever I was doing. Until eventually I finally found myself in a situation where I had a good enough internet and I had a good enough computer, and I had extra money to finally start streaming. And so about 2 years ago, I took a tax return and I bought myself all the things that I thought I would need to stream, I guess, at all. Like that, so I wouldn't ever really want anything more. So I have gotten some upgrades, but most of the stuff I have now, I bought at the beginning. And I started, like, I knew I wanted to make sure I had a good mic. And so I went with a Go XLR mic, an XLR mic, the 2035. The AT 2035, if anybody's interested. And then I got myself a Stream Deck, and I got myself, not these lights that I currently have. I bought some, like, I wanted to make sure that the lighting was nice as well. So I bought I got it on sale on Amazon. It was like these big old box lights. Is that what they're called? Like they're like soft box lights.
Yeah.
But I had two big ones of those, and I got for like $60, which seemed to be a good deal. And I had those for a long while. And then I bought myself a capture card because I knew I was going to want to play things off my PlayStation. And other than that, like, I kind of just went from there, and it was all just working through hurdles. There was a lot of YouTube videos and searching up things I didn't know on YouTube, on Google. Yep.
I feel that too. So yeah, segue to me, I guess. So I started streaming. I had no plans to. I hadn't even been on Twitch. I literally made my Twitch account in 2018. Like, I have not been on this platform very long. I think Hecky has been partnered longer than I've even been on Twitch. But it's funny because one of my favorite YouTubers made a Twitch account and started streaming on Twitch. And that was how I got on the platform, was through her. But outside of her, like, I didn't browse for anybody. I didn't watch anybody. And it wasn't until my coworker, an IRL friend, he started streaming, I believe, last August. And then in September, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I've started doing this thing. Like, you should come hang out and watch. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And so I watched him, I think maybe one or two streams. And then I just kind of thought, like, this seems kind of fun. And I was like, maybe I could do it too. So I literally had no start, but I just remember assuming that my PC could handle it. So I reached out to him. I was like, so, like, what do you need to even, like, do this? And he recommended Streamlabs OBS to start off with, which I did. And when it comes to simple-ish programs, like, I don't find that Streamlabs OBS is a really difficult program to learn. I'm very much a visual learner, though, so I'm big on watching YouTube videos if I don't know how to do something, so that I can see what someone is doing, right? So yeah, it was just went on YouTube and watched some videos and got things set up. And I remember I only had one monitor at the time. So I remember having to use my iPad with Twitch chat on it
No.
Because like I know, right? And that's what, and I remember thinking like I was gonna rock that for a while because I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally fine. Second monitor, yeah, I don't need one.
Until you
But I
have one.
absolutely, I
Yeah.
absolutely did need one. Now I've got three because but yeah, for me, like starting out, I mean, my very first stream, I didn't have a webcam. It was on the way though. I did order a Logitech C920. First stream was without it. I was using my Corsair headset mic. That's what I started on. Until that started bothering me so much that I needed to not use it anymore. But yeah, I feel like actually getting started with streaming is not as difficult as some people make it out to be. Like, yeah, there's steps you have to take, but for the most part, it's not. I find it's kind of a reasonably low barrier to entry. Like as long as you've got some form of audio, and then kind of decide whether you want to be a camera or no camera streamer. Arguably, it's a bit easier if you're a no camera streamer because it's just one less piece of equipment. You're not paying for that. Probably easier to set up your just overall overlay for your stream or whatever. But yeah, that was kind of for me. Like, yeah, headset mic, camera. My lighting was not. You know what it is. It was literally just a lamp in the corner of the room with no shade on it. And I rocked that for admittedly way too long. I remember Tug had, I think, a photo in the Nook Discord when I first joined the team because I was still rocking just the lamp in the corner when I joined the team. And he couldn't believe that was literally my only source of
That's terrible.
I know. But it worked. It worked until it didn't anymore. But yeah, and then what else did I have? I didn't have a stream deck when I started. I linked everything to my F keys on my keyboard for scene changes and stuff. So yeah, just one monitor, iPad. I mean, you could use your cell phone for your Twitch chat. I actually know a streamer friend of mine who makes dresses. Like she sews primarily. She's in the sewing category or like makers and crafting on Twitch. Because she's at a table like sewing, she uses her phone for Twitch chat. Like she has to because she's away from her computer. Like she's got an amazing camera setup and she's got an actual like great setup, but she doesn't have space for her computer to be right there. So
especially
she's got to use her phone.
If you're doing crafts and stuff like that. No.
Exactly. So, but like that works for her, and like that could work for a lot of people. So, I guess now that we've kind of like talked about our own experiences with kind of what we got started with, what content? Like, do you kind of still stream what you first started streaming? I remember you saying earlier that you kind of just stream whatever you feel like it, but do you kind of stay in a general category or no?
I'm very much a variety broadcaster, and I went back and forth a lot when I first started streaming, and I still go back and forth with myself, but about, you know, if whether I want to like stick with only one game or one type of game or kind of just play whatever is my fancy. And I just have more fun with variety, though there are, you know, drawbacks to that.
Yeah, but, for sure. And that could be a whole other podcast on its own. And actually we do have that planned.
But I started streaming. I started streaming RPGs, the same thing I stream now, but like I was doing it very differently. Like I am very much, when I go to play an RPG, I love like reading all the tooltips, getting into the lore, and doing all the side quests. Like if my rule of thumb in any RPG is the game tells me to go forward, I am going to run backwards until I can't run backwards anymore, and then I'll go forward. But then even on the way forward, I might go and take a detour to the right, you know. And so, but like I was terrified of staying on a game for too long when I first started, like terrified. And so like the first games I played when I started streaming was Horizon Zero Dawn and The Witcher 3, which those games I still need to go back and like actually play the way I would love to play them, because I rushed through those games because I was really, really scared to like stick on a game for 150 hours. And I thought like, you know, oh man, if I sit on this one thing forever, like people are just going to go. Like they're not going to stick around. And so like there was a bunch of games in that first year that I just barreled through, and it like kind of killed me on the inside because I'd see like side quests or like interesting things, like no, just stay on the main quest.
Yeah, when I first started streaming, I really wanted to do the Witcher series, but being so new into RPGs in general, I had like 3 or 4 friends in chat that were like, no, play some others first. Here's some recommendations. Dragon Age Inquisition, Fallout New Vegas, the Mass Effect trilogy. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I jumped into Dragon Age Inquisition, and that ended up being 120 streaming hours.
Oh.
And I played it from October until this past March. And March was when I finally finished it.
Oh, that is a long playthrough.
It was, but you know what? Like, I don't regret it because Dragon Age on Twitch has a massive fan base, and those fans are constantly looking for first playthroughs of that game. People in that community love finding people on Twitch that are playing it for the first time. And one of my moderators found me through the game. When I was playing Inquisition back in October, I had just started, and she found my stream, and now she's one of my best Twitch friends and my mod. And now I'm doing my first playthrough of Origins, and same thing. I've had people find me through the Origins category, and they hang out and they come to other streams where I'm not playing Dragon Age. And it's just really cool. It's really cool that there's some RPGs on Twitch that just have that kind of fan base. So I guess for myself, like, because my content, like, I guess going back to what content I wanted to stream right from the get-go, I knew from the very beginning that I wanted my stream to be come watch a newer gamer play first playthroughs of these games.
It's a good
and
thing to build a stream off of.
Yeah, and that's something that, I still present for myself right now. And that's something I can still carry with me for a little while. Eventually I'm going to have to take away that I'm not a new gamer anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just not a great gamer. But still, like, I think first playthroughs is going to make up primarily like most of my content. However, I mean, I do have plans. I would love to in 2021 go back to these games that I've played and do the not nice playthroughs of them. Like, I have ideas. I really want to play these games picking the bad options.
So you play the goody two shoes.
I do.
Oh.
I do. And the reason I do is because I'm more empathetic to that personality. I feel like most people are good people. But the thing is, like, the thing that saddens me is, like, the developers and the writers put so much work into that bad side of an RPG game. And I think I can't remember the exact stat, but someone from the Mass Effect team tweeted about how few gamers actually go Renegade for Mass Effect. And he's just like, we put so much work into this Renegade side of the game, and like barely anybody plays it. And so seeing that tweet actually come from a writer from the game, I was just like, okay, that kind of motivated me to want to do that.
Oh, you wanted to finally get a taste of the bad side?
I'm kind of like early planning my content for next year to be like, I still want to do first playthroughs of new games, but I also kind of want to go back to these games that I've played this year, like Mass Effect 2, Fallout New Vegas, and I want to go and be bad. And especially in New Vegas, like, there was a whole faction, Kaiser's Legion, that I never talked to, because as soon as I encountered them, like, they knew that I was on the good side, and we would just get right into a brawl, and I never even got to talk to any of those people. I'm just like, that's like so many NPCs with all this dialogue that I just can't do because I'm a good person. Anyway, but all right, so with that covered, let's start talking about, like, for someone that wants to start streaming, like, let's talk about the what is good to have versus what can be optional or obtained later, or like upgraded later on. So you mentioned, let's go into audio, because you mentioned that when you started streaming, for you it was incredibly important to have your audio good from the get-go. And I have to agree with you on this. Like, I watch old clips from my first few streams where I had my headset mic, and I just go, how did I stream with that?
Like, for me, like, it is the quickest way that I will that'll leave a stream, is if I click in. Like, you could have like no cam or shitty cam or horrible lighting or whatever on your camera, and then even your gameplay, even if it has a stutter every now and then, like, I can handle it. But like, but most of the time I'm like, you are on the second monitor or in the background, and so like, if I'm constantly hearing like this just really grating audio from a stream, like, I click away as fast as I can, because I can't just like, I can't like have that on in the background. And so like, I wanted to make sure, as I think most people should, like, your primary focus, I feel like most of your if you've got a budget and you want to get into streaming, most of your budget should go towards good audio. And nowadays with like the new Wave stuff from Elgato, like it has amazing software. KL has one, yeah. It's like the Wave 1 and Wave 3, like they're amazing for what they do and the price that they're at. It's absolutely fantastic. Like I probably would have gotten that mic if it was there when I started streaming, but didn't. So
I agree with that. Like the one that actually is the one regret. Like if I could, I try not to have regret in life, but if I look back a year ago when I was getting ready to kind of start streaming, I do wish that I had paid a bit more attention to the audio, because I mean back then I could afford it. Like there was nothing about my budget at the time that I didn't have to stay on my headset mic. I could have started off with good audio from the beginning. And that's one thing that I would change if I could go back and change things, is I would have gotten a better mic. But I will say this. So I didn't stream with my headset mic for all that long. I did upgrade pretty quickly. And I am going to plug a brand that this was the mic that I rocked until I got the Wave 1. And I actually still use the boom arm from that mic. But basically on Amazon, there's a brand called Maono. It's like Maono. I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, but basically on Amazon, they sell very inexpensive microphones and microphone packages. So the package that I got was like $75 US, and it had the microphone, it had the filter that goes right over the mic, it had the round filter that kind of gets positioned in front, and then it had the boom arm, and the boom arm I still use. And that whole package was $75. And the difference between the Corsair headset mic I had and that microphone was astounding. Like, granted, that mic was nothing. Like, you could easily tell the difference between that mic and maybe the Wave 1 or the AT that you're rocking. But if someone has a headset mic and they want to upgrade to a different microphone without breaking the bank, like, I've recommended that brand to people, because I went based off of Amazon reviews. And everyone was saying like they were really impressed with the quality of the mic for the price. And so I kind of jumped at it and was like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes. And if it isn't all it's cracked up to be, like $75, like, yeah,
it's not too bad, especially for all the stuff you
know,
get.
Right. So, and I rocked that mic for literally months on stream, because I haven't had the Wave 1 all that long. And now my microphone, I gave it to my brother, because my brother eventually wants to get into streaming. He just has to figure some things out first before he can actually jump right into it, namely internet. Which is a big thing. So,
yeah, internet is a huge thing.
But I gave him the mic because I'm like, here, like when you're eventually to go into it, I'm like, here. And he had set it up and then called me on Discord and was like, how does it sound? And it sounded great. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So that brand I would definitely recommend to new streamers. That maybe, I mean, as awesome as the Wave 1 is, like entry level, I think the Wave 1 is going to be that microphone for new streamers.
Yeah, I think Wave 1 definitely is right now. It's like like the Wave 1 or 3 are the mics for like starting streamers. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong with the mixer. And like, it's funny, even last night I'm still learning everything about mixer software. And the reason I ended up going for the Wave 1 was because with that old mic that I was just talking about, like I don't know now in hindsight if it would have worked with a Go XLR, but I was considering making that step. I wanted to make that leap into getting an actual mixer where I could fiddle more with audio. And then literally the same week that I was thinking about that, the Wave came out and it was ready to buy.
Oh yeah, the Wave, I mean, it's smart because like a lot of people have felt the need, and like to be fair, like I love my Go XLR, and I think the Go XLR Mini is a fantastic, like you get everything that you get with the Go XLR. They just trim off like the stuff you don't really need. They're just nice little knobs, right, like little sound effects board that I can make or whatever. But but all of like the faders and everything and the channeling that it offers, and the ability to like EQ your mic, all that is like built right into the software, and it's super convenient. But now with the Wave, like you can do all that like through the software side on with the Wave, which is fantastic.
Yeah, the Wave is missing some things that the Go XLR has, like with the actual mic stuff. With the Wave, like you can really only change like the gain and the output volume. There really is no EQing or anything in the Wave software. But the thing that I just like the most is, and it took some time to get used to, but the thing that I love the most is just it's nice to, and I know that you can do this with the Go XLR too, or at least I'm pretty sure you can, but it's nice that I can change what I hear. So like the thing that's great for me is I can actually now hear what the stream hears.
Oh, the side
right?
tone
Because you
in
can,
the headset.
yeah, because you can flip that, and that was a game changer for me. That alone was like the best thing like that alone for me made it worth it to finally get into having a mixer. Just for that ability to just finally be able to actually hear what the stream hears, and in real time be able to monitor the different levels of different pieces of my audio.
Yeah, honestly, it's honestly for like with what I've done with EQ, which isn't a lot. I've tried like it. That is, audio is complicated.
It
incredibly complicated. Like I'm just, even just trying to research it to like even just get my mic to sound okay is terrible and hard. But it's probably a good thing that the Wave software doesn't have EQ, because that is tough. And it would definitely be like a rough thing for like first timers, which it seems to be what, like, it's an entry mic is what they're making. And I think it's a good thing that they kind of left the EQ side off.
And just to remind the chat about your mic, because the one thing that really stands out for me about you and your stream is how you sound. I mean, you've got a great voice. I'm sure with any microphone you lovely, but your microphone, I feel like, just really amplifies your voice. So just remind everyone the microphone that you have again.
The mic I use is the AT2035. And I've used it for 2.5 years with streaming. It's the only mic I've ever had. And I love it because like I can hear just most of it. I feel like is now like, because I have learned how to like actually like add a noise gate and compression and all this extra stuff that you learn as you start trying to stream and make your audio better and everything. Like I can hear the difference. It sounds like night and day between if I go and like watch old clips of me from 2 years ago. And it's the same mic, but the audio quality is so much different just because of like the stuff I've learned along the way. So I think like it just shows like the potential that this mic has. Like it can go from, if you just start out with it, it sounds good, but you can make it sound better, which is great.
Yeah. And that's important too, I guess. Just another reminder for people that are like maybe wanting to get into streaming is, you can, with OBS, you can take any mic and you can add those things like suppression and noise gate and fiddle with the gain and stuff. And those kind of settings just make you sound better regardless of the microphone that you have. Microphone obviously helps, but YouTube, there's so many tutorials I've watched on audio. It's kind of ridiculous just to try and learn like, what is noise gate? What is noise suppression? What does it do? What are decibels? Like just
how does a decibel work?
Pretty much, yeah. But all right. So with audio covered, let's transition into the camera. Camera is the one thing that I have not upgraded. I've had that Logitech C920 since the very beginning, and I think that is like
most of Twitch has the C920.
It's a good camera though.
Yeah.
It is a great camera. Like, it is the stream camera, and it's a very reasonable price. It's really good quality, I find, especially like, so when I go back to my older videos and I compare, like, I've only had a green screen recently. I got it in July. So I've been streaming without a green screen longer than I have had the green screen. But I found that when I set up the green screen, fiddled with the chroma key, I felt like it seemed like the quality of my camera got better. It didn't. It was still exactly the same, but it just felt better because I didn't have that clutter and stuff behind me, I guess, or just, the back of the room.
It kind of isolates you.
It does, yeah.
It makes you makes you the focus.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. One day I would love to upgrade the camera and get like a super fancy.
Oh yeah, one of them. Maybe not. What are they? DSLRs, right?
Maybe not even a DSLR. Maybe not even. Even just like what Tug got recently, because I don't think Tug has an actual DSLR, but it's like the Sony something or other.
Sony some mixture of numbers and letters that don't make sense. Yeah.
Tug can probably share in chat or confirm exactly what it is. But yeah, I don't know. There's like, for now, I'm super happy with the C920, and I would recommend unless you're going to be a no cam streamer, obviously. But if you are the kind of streamer that definitely wants to show your face and show your room to the world or have a green screen or what have you. Honestly, like I know Logitech has come out with like a streamer cam.
Oh, that thing.
Whatever.
As far as I've seen from
Whatever
that
their new one
camera,
is.
it does not. I don't know. It doesn't seem all that great. It doesn't seem all that great. I'd still recommend the C920 to anybody starting.
Yeah.
Because like I've only ever seen like it is just a good webcam, and honestly, webcams haven't come very far since the C920. Like I use the Brio. But even my Brio now is starting to like do this weird thing where it like has trouble focusing. I don't know, like it annoys me often. And from what I hear with the C920, it seems like it's just like that great workhorse webcam.
It looks good though. And I mean, this kind of segues into the next topic of, the equipment what's good to have, but lighting too. Like, you don't even have to really
important.
You don't even have to really focus on the camera. Like you could probably get away with anything really.
Just lighting yourself properly.
I mean, let's just compare you and I on stream right now. So it's daytime for me and I've got two massive windows here. And before we went live, we struggled with my chroma key because I literally had to move my green screen in a whole different position. Poor Ella's like trapped on the couch today because my green screen is blocking her way off of it. But yeah, like lighting is such a finicky thing. And I even told Joe before we went live, I'm like, I hope a cloud doesn't come over the sun today because that's going to completely change the lighting in this room right now. And I almost want to I almost want to get blackout curtains or something for these windows so that I can just have it controlled with actual artificial lighting. But yeah, lighting is a very big thing. And admittedly, I don't have a great lighting setup.
I feel like it's something a lot of people like skip. Like a lot of people seem to like just think like if you have like a light on the ceiling or a window open, like they're like, oh, well, my eyes can see everything fine in this room. The camera should too. But no, the more
or this.
Oh goodness.
Literally there just my lamp without the shade on. Yep. Oh, sorry for that noise. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, is bad lighting going to make your stream not grow? I would argue no. No. My whole up until a handful of months ago on Twitch, like I got by with that ugly light in the corner of my room. It somehow illuminated things enough that you could see me really well. You could see Ella.
I feel like it kind of like lighting really only comes into like being a big issue particularly with green screens. Like you can get away with like room lighting if you're not using a green screen. But like when you're using a green screen, like, oh my gosh, it's like all of the weird things where you get those things where you can like people's hair are disappearing or pieces of their face or their clothing or their chair. Like all that's because you don't have sufficient lighting for your green screen.
My community in particular will know for sure that it is still something that I'm learning and struggling with, especially because at this time of the year I go live when the sun is technically still up, and then within the hour, my first hour live, it's setting. So things kind of change in the room a little bit with that. So I've had to fiddle with my chroma key kind of like partway through the stream just because, I'll start it with a certain lighting. And that's why I'm thinking of like, let's just get blackout curtains for this room so that I can 100% control it. But you're right. Like as much as I love my green screen, like there are, I can't right now because I'm in a different room and my whole setup is borked and I can't show off what's behind me at this moment because this room is I'm in the middle of renovations also, which is a whole other thing. But yeah, as much as I love my green screen, I mean, like that is something new streamers should know, or people that want to start streaming, is like it's tough. Like it's tough to make it look really, really good.
You learn a lot as you go through.
And chroma key, I feel like, unless you have a windowless room or something where you're controlling it literally just with artificial lights placed really well. Like if you're not, then it's something that you probably will have to fiddle with quite often.
Luckily, I feel like the culture of Twitch, it seems like everybody kind of just has gotten rid of the green screen. Like there's still a fair amount that use it. Like I like the look of it, but I prefer to like take up less. I'm very minimalist with my stream, so like all my alerts or anything that's going on my screen is all very like small. But like well, it seems like most of Twitch, anytime I go to watch streamers now, like they add some RBG lighting to their background and they create a nice little border and they put themselves in a corner or whatever, and there it is. And it seems to be fine now.
Yeah, like I don't know, there's people that I think that sometimes people will flip back and forth. Like I'll tell you right now, like if I make this room, like if I put the effort into this room in the future and I make, I put awesome art on the walls or get some like fun lighting behind me, like I would consider not streaming with my green screen anymore. Like, the reason that I got my green screen, and just as a heads up, guys, like we're talking about green screen in the sense of like it's definitely an optional / get later kind of product.
Yeah,
like,
you
we're
definitely
not saying
don't need
that
a green
everybody
screen. Certainly not anymore.
Needs a green screen. Kind of just with the overall topic of like lighting and camera and stuff. But with the green screen, like the reason I got it was simply because I did want to take up less space on my overlay. And I just felt that by having the green screen, I can make myself bigger on the overlay, and still not take up as much space as I had been.
Yeah, it is a giant. You're just a giant rectangle on the screen that you block off of the gameplay or whatever it happens to be. And it's always a pain to like. It's easier to like just put yourself in with the green screen and fit it into the game's UI versus trying to figure out where you're going to put this block on the screen.
And then I have the added complexity of like my Ella cam is a second block on my screen, and I don't have a green screen for her. I've considered getting a giant green curtain to throw on her bed, but I don't no. I'd rather just have the block for her. But yeah, but I think if you put a lot of pride into your space. Even on the Nook, we've had some people that were previously green screen streamers that are not anymore. Like Tug is one of them. He built himself an awesome office and has put a lot of work into his decor in the space. It looks great. And now he's not streaming with a green screen anymore, and it looks awesome. Like you get some insight into people's personalities that way too, when you can see kind of like what's behind them.
I don't want to see what's behind my green screen. Then
you don't want to see what's behind me either. Not right now. But yeah, I guess with respect to camera and lighting though, like I guess one thing that I'll kind of wrap up that conversation with is like personally, like I'm going to keep this camera as long as possible, and I'm going to make sure that before I upgrade my camera, I upgrade my lighting. And I think I would recommend that to everybody. Like make sure your lighting is 100% on point. And then if you still feel like your camera's lacking, then go ahead, upgrade the camera. Yeah. But I think that
lighting first is absolutely the thing, because most of the time with cameras, you can, if you just get ample lighting, you'll fix whatever problems you might be having with your green screen, or like problems that you might be having with just, I guess, even being able to see yourself.
Yeah. So in terms of lighting, like recommendations, I mean, I feel like lighting is something that you could easily just kind of construct yourself. Or, I mean, we all know Elgato sells the key lights. I think they're quite expensive though.
They are.
Haven't actually.
I actually, that was my upgrade to lighting, is I bought 2 key lights. And they are very expensive. They're $200 each.
Wow.
But I've been streaming so long that I don't foresee myself like ever stopping streaming, just because I enjoy it a lot. And so at this point, like streaming has just become a hobby. It's like it's a outlet for I don't know, creativity, I suppose. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep dumping money into this hobby. So I bought myself these 2 key lights, and I love it because they have really nice diffusion. You can change the color of each light individually, and you can like up the Kelvin, drop the Kelvin. Like it's very, very good. But I understand that's not something for a lot of people. So like I'd recommend for anybody that's just starting streaming to like go and look for, like I did when I first started, was go and look for like deals on like studio lighting, like that. Even though that does take up a lot of space. So if you have space in wherever you're streaming to have big lights, I would recommend it, because you can find some good deals on Amazon for like $50-$60. But if you can't like dedicate that much, there's a lot of like, especially now with how popular it is to like for content creation in general, just YouTube or Twitch or Instagram or whatever, now you've got ring lights everywhere and soft boxes like everywhere, or just light panels. And a lot of those you can like even buy a light panel and then create your own diffusion with just like a piece of white paper, just put it over it. Like,
it's literally what I have.
Oh, exactly. See, like that you can do that and get away with it just fine. Just make sure you light yourself like fully. Just make sure you have ample lighting. It might seem you'll have to get used to it, like having lights in your face, like a bright light in the corner. Like it's just something like you have to kind of like get used to having there. But because even though it might seem bright to you while it's on your face, it might it's definitely like the right amount for the camera, you know. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I have. I went on Amazon and just bought like a basic light, but I can control the temperature, so I can have it be super warm, super cool. I can control the amount of light that comes out. It's crazy though, with the one that I have, even it is still so bright and it just completely washes me out. So yeah, just that printer paper trick. I literally have a piece of printer paper.
Yeah, some of the lighting, they don't come with their own diffusion, so you'll have to go and buy something to put over it or in front of it, and that'll, you know, kind of take care of it.
Yeah. But take care of yourself too. So if you find that like just the amount of lighting, especially compared with the monitor lighting, I used to rock blue light lenses and stream all the time. I really should get back into doing that. But I would recommend blue light lenses. You could, like blue light glasses, you can find inexpensive ones on Amazon too. I don't remember brand names off the top of my head, but I used to wear blue light lenses. Now that I'm saying it, I really should get back to doing that, to be honest, because I did notice a big difference wearing that after stream, especially with the time that I stream, which is late at night. I just felt that I was able to go to bed a little bit easier. So I should maybe get back into doing that.
And it's definitely a lot of I don't know, like especially if you're sitting here, because like streamers are, and I guess this would be good for a starting streaming thing. Take care of yourself. There are people that try and sit there for like 10 hours streaming, just sitting there, not getting a drink of water, not eating, not standing, not doing anything. Take breaks and watch over yourself. You know, stretch your hands. I've known a lot of people like over the years of watching that they end up with joint issues because they're just sitting there playing games on stream 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they're just not taking care of themselves. So absolutely, a big part of starting streaming, just remember to, you know, take care of yourself away from the stream.
That's going to be, in a bit, we're going to dive into kind of like those basic of how-tos like while you're live. So when you finally have like gotten that courage to actually go live for the first time, like, you know, there are some good how-tos while live. Taking a break is absolutely those. And we'll get to that. I'm excited to dive into that topic. But now that we've got kind of audio, camera, lighting covered, let's talk briefly about like deciding what platform you're going to use. Slobs versus OBS, Streamlabs OBS versus just regular OBS. Two very similar programs, but yet also very different. I'm going to die on the hill that I think that Streamlabs OBS is absolutely what a beginner should start with. And then once they're familiar with just how a streaming program works, then make that transition to OBS. Once you're in the groove. Yeah. That's
what I started streaming on. Like Streamlabs OBS came out like right as I started streaming, which is great because I don't know that I'd have made it this far if I had to just start with OBS Studio. Because
me neither.
OBS Studio just like you bring like they don't have any tutorial or anything. It literally just pops up and there's just shit to click on your screen and you have to figure it out for yourself. Well, try and go watch YouTube videos, but I don't know. There's something about the way OBS works. Like I got used to it with Slobs.
Yeah. Slobs definitely has like, so the user interface of Slobs is definitely more friendly, right? Colorful and like nice font and things are like just really pretty looking. And I think for people that maybe aren't as tech savvy, something that looks easier to use or just is more pleasing to the eye, you know, because like let's face it, like OBS when
even
you
have
launch
like little walkthroughs kind of on Streamlabs when you first boot it up.
That too. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the reason I ended up transitioning off of Streamlabs OBS, like, and things that a beginner should know. So like Streamlabs OBS is very CPU heavy. So, you know, if you're it's great to start with, but yeah, once you kind of understand what you're doing, OBS is very similar with some differences that I think are better. But yeah, I think that Streamlabs, you can't go wrong with Streamlabs. I mean, and if you're a beginner, like once you've been streaming for a few months, then you'll understand why everybody kind of praises OBS afterwards.
I'm glad that I moved to OBS for sure.
Yeah, but I'm also glad, like on that same thing though, like yeah, I'm glad I switched to OBS, but I'm glad I started with Streamlabs OBS because I think that if someone had told me that OBS was the only option, that may have been the reason that maybe I didn't even start streaming, because maybe OBS would have been too overwhelming for me and I would have been like, I have no idea.
Oh yeah, it'd be incredibly easy. I still get frustrated in OBS trying to figure out, and I kind of know a little bit about what's going on.
I'm frustrated that OBS just like seems to change settings on me randomly. Like last night I did a stream and I had friends on with me and there was this crazy echo and everything was echoing, and I looked at my, I was like, I can't figure out where this echo is coming from. So I ended the stream and I restarted OBS and echo's gone. And I literally changed nothing. I changed absolutely nothing. I just shut OBS down and refired it up and the echo was gone. And I was like, we had wasted like half an hour of the start of stream trying to figure it out because I could have sworn that it was a setting in OBS and nope, it wasn't. I just needed
it was just messing up there, huh?
Yeah. So I guess that's like, here's the other thing with streaming, guys, is like, just have patience. So, sometimes things are frustrating, but
you mean most of the time you'll swear you have everything. Like even if you go through, I'll go through my stream deck beforehand. I'll make sure all the scene transitions are working. I'll make sure the audio sounds nice, this, that, or the other. You hit the go live button and it all decides to break for no reason. That's what OBS wants to do. And so it's going to happen.
Also too, the other thing that I also just want to really throw out there is like, don't feel bad and don't knock yourself. Like if anything, okay, so Shroud's first stream back on Twitch, I'm in there with like hundreds of thousands. I think there was like, was there over 100,000 at the beginning? I can't remember now, but there was thousands of us in there. And he's on the starting soon screen, and then all of a sudden he transitions to like this amazing epic opening video and it was muted and the audio wasn't working. And that to me was really awesome. Like, I mean, it sucked for him and I think he felt embarrassed by it because he came on and he's just like, I can't figure out why the sound's not playing. But honestly, like that to me made me feel better as a streamer because I'm like, hey, if Shroud can have issues with his stream where something like the audio is just not working properly or whatever, like
imagine audio not working correctly.
Right. But I mean, I don't know, like that to me was just, it shows that even the big guys and like the people that have been doing this a long time, the most experienced people also still run into problems sometimes. So I guess like the message that I want to put out there is like, don't get discouraged by this stuff. I have done so much Googling. I still do so much Googling. I always am trying to learn more things with OBS. Especially because OBS has all those plugins that you can download to add fun to your stream. There's just so much with OBS. But
plugins are something you got to get into. That's a little bit more advanced.
That will be the optional get later part of this list. But and then I guess to finish up the whole like slobs versus OBS thing, no matter what one you decide to go with, take the time to set up custom alerts for followers, hosts, and raids. At the beginning, you're not going to be affiliated.
I swear, like the second I see somebody, like if I follow somebody and they have that fucking zombie with the typical sound,
the running across the screen.
I lose my fucking mind. I'm like, you couldn't just be bothered to even go and get one of the free ones that they hand out to you in slobs. Like they have like a whole list of like custom alerts that you can just, all you gotta do is click download. That's it.
Or just go on giphy.com and just like find a fun GIF to download, right? Just something. Yeah, no, I feel that. Honestly, for me as a new streamer, like setting up my alerts was one of the most fun things about my stream. I loved it. I loved setting up custom sounds and custom alerts because I had watched other streamers. I was like, okay, what are some people doing? And for some streamers, like their alerts are so their alerts are such a part of their stream.
Oh yeah.
That like, you know, when they have set up custom alerts that go off for like certain bit amounts or like tip amounts, right? Like when the community catches on to that, like they will continue, like they'll do it. It's a smart marketing
honestly,
thing.
I think Tug has a really good one for the sub. The whole screen changes. And I think it fits really well, you know.
Yeah, with the tugboat crossing over the water. Yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, just as a new streamer, yeah, take that time to just set up something that suits you and your personality. You know, my community will know that like I'm a big Metallica fan, so pretty much almost all of my alerts are Metallica related in some way, because that's just what I do, and it's been that way since the beginning. Just about the beginning. And then just to quickly run down kind of the optional, but like, I mean, as much as you and I would probably say that it is a really good to have. I mean, a stream deck technically can wait. Although I would argue so hard that a stream deck should be your first upgrade.
They have like, even if you have to just go, like I think they have a free one on their phone that you can download now. Really? I think so. Or or at least there's some like a stream deck on your phone that you can download. I would recommend getting that. I don't know that I would like I guess maybe if you had like a plugin, you can like have it there and like to constantly hit, but I feel like your phone would like go to sleep and it'd be really annoying to like utilize. But I think they do have free options, but like I don't know that I could stream without my stream deck now after having it. It's just it's just always there. It's super easy. You can, and then like they have like nice integrations from like a wide variety of everything, from OBS to like even Spotify. Like if you can link your Spotify to it to like have it to where you can like pause, switch songs, all that, like and all that kind of like all can play and flow in together really well, like for streaming.
Yeah, the power of a stream deck truly is, I mean, yeah, once you have it, you won't go back. I definitely wouldn't argue that it's something that a streamer has to have from the very beginning, but yeah, you're gonna, when I got mine, I wondered how I without it. And I think every streamer that gets one will feel that way. Yeah, it's definitely a good piece of equipment for a streamer to have. And then we already talked about green screen for quite some time. That's definitely an optional / get later or / maybe not even get at all.
Yeah. You could always just touch up your background and make it look all pretty, like a lot of people do.
Depends on you and your stream. And then the other thing that's like definitely an optional get later, but I wouldn't say really a piece of equipment, but a bot account. I mean, with Stream Elements, you can make your own account a bot, and that's what I have for my stream, just because by making your own account a bot, I mean, your account has access to all of your subs, like tier 2 and 3 included, right? But it depends on what you want for your stream. Some people rock having a separate bot account.
I should probably learn to do that.
With a fun name. Yeah, and this just confirms that like that is definitely an optional piece that you don't need. Because Joe, you've been streaming for 2.5 years and you don't have a bot account. It just depends kind of what you're after with your community. You know, if you are, I don't even know what I was going to say there, but yeah, just with my bot account, like, you know, I've got a lot of those like chat games enabled, and I mean, you can still do that with just the normal Stream Elements or Streamlabs bot. I think for me, I just wanted something a bit more like tailored to my stream. You know, instead of having the default Stream Elements name there, or the bot name for that. But again, that's definitely an optional thing, but one that you know, if you're going to go that route, it is pretty fun to make a bot account.
I mean, I feel like it definitely, like, the bot becomes like its own entity in the chat that people can either yell at or praise.
Yeah, true. All right. Let's dive into some quick basic how-tos while you're live. Okay, so you're a new streamer, you've got slobs, you've got a microphone, you've got a camera, or maybe no camera. You kind of got everything figured out and you're ready. You've prepared yourself to actually go live. When you first start streaming, unless you have told a bunch of your friends to come watch you, you're probably going to be streaming to Nobody.
Honestly, I feel like I'd prefer to stream to nobody than my friends. Just like, I don't know. Like, it's at least starting out because like I feel like you're gonna be sitting there trying to get into your groove and do your thing, and they're just gonna be I don't know. Maybe your friends are all better, but my friends would just heckle me to death, and I would probably not ever want to boot up streaming again.
So I feel very grateful in that when I started streaming, I had that friend, that IRL coworker and friend of mine, who was obviously always in my chat. And then he had kind of had an established group of gamers through a Discord server that he was like, hey, did you want me to plug your stream into my group of friends and have some of them come by? And I was like, that'd be great. So I never streamed to zero. I don't know what that's like. I always had, at some point in my stream, I always had one or two people talking. Now, granted, they didn't talk the whole time. So there were definitely times during my stream where my chat wasn't moving. So I know what that feels like. But I mean, I don't know, like the way that I kind of went about it back then was, and even now, if I feel that it kind of starts slowing down at times, which it definitely has, like pretend you're making a YouTube Let's Play. Like pretend that you're recording a video that's going to be published and watched by people after the fact. Take that same kind of brain, like mindset, and apply it to your stream when you're live. So narrate. Take inspiration and emulate from people that you find entertaining on YouTube. Someone that I love watching is Jacksepticeye. I absolutely love his YouTube Let's Plays of various games. And that's just like, I think of him, and I don't want to be like him, but I don't want to be him, but I want to be like that.
You want to entertain people the same way. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Like when I started, I did stream to zero for a long time, and it was definitely a thing. Like I remember, like before, because I ordered all the parts for my stream, but like I wanted to make sure before I even got those parts that I like got used to streaming. And so I was streaming. When I first started streaming, I didn't have good lighting. I had like it wasn't even a C920. I don't remember. It was like it was an awful webcam, but I used that. And then I like had a Corsair headset that I was using for the mic. And I just literally sat there for like 6 hours every stream, just talking to myself, like the entire time. I'd have a person come through every now and then, but it was just sitting there talking. I tried to make sure that I got to the point where, because I don't know how any of you are, but like it's very weird to just sit there and talk to yourself about what's going on in a game, like and then constantly making sure that you are talking, like so like it was the thing of where you'd be going through the game and like I'd have to like, you have to constantly check yourself to make sure that you're talking, when otherwise you might just quickly read that line of dialogue from an NPC or whatever. Instead, you have to remember too that there might be people watching, and and generally people might not be able to read as fast as you, so it's easier for you to just read it yourself, or like pretty much you just kind of like self-narrate everything that's going on. It's like
and I'm gonna say they say, I mean, who's they really, but even just think about yourself when you're entering. They say that a new viewer entering your stream will watch about 30 seconds or less even, and at that point decide if they're going to stay or not. So you do not have a very large window for capturing a new viewer. And I mean, think about yourself as a consumer. Like if you're going to go into a browse category or even go on a raid to somebody, like if you're watching someone that you like and then you get raided off to somebody else, right? Like you're going to sit there and you're going to watch content for a little bit and decide, do I want to stick around? Right.
Absolutely.
And a raid has a little bit of a different influence with that, just because you have that streamer saying like, hey, we're going to raid so and they're awesome and blah, blah, blah. But if you're actually in the browse category looking for somebody and you click on them, like I know for me, I think I give it a minute max. And then I decide.
I don't raid, like just generally I don't raid random people very often. But if I were, I don't know, like I'd give it 30 seconds, maybe not even 20 seconds. Because I feel like most of the time, like the way like I see it is when a person clicks into your stream, most of the time they get an ad. And so they've already been sitting there. If they sit there through the ad, they've been there for 30 seconds already. And they're already in a bad mood because they had to watch these god awful ads that Twitch seems to only ever have 2 of it at any given time. They can't give me any variation. And then
salty about that.
they sit there. And then if they come into the stream and there's just nothing happening other than you sitting there in your chair, running around in a game for like 10 to 15 seconds after they already watched a 30-second ad that they've seen a million times before. Oh yeah, immediately click off, move on to the next one, go back to somebody that maybe that they know that they like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, is it exhausting that you kind of have to be on for 4 hours or 3 hours or however long you decide to stream? It can be. That's why breaks are so important. But yeah, just you always want to make sure that you're doing something. And kind of just to transition into that, I mean, watch your dang VODs back, guys. Like, make sure that you have that setting turned on to save your VODs and go watch them back. And
as much as it pains you.
And start scrubbing through. Like, you know, I'm part of a community where we do stream reviews of people. So people will submit their VODs for a review. And typically we'll watch like a minute of the starting soon just to see what that's about. And then we skip ahead about 6 or 7 minutes. And we kind of watch the intro a little bit for maybe like a minute or 2. And then we'll skip ahead an hour or like 45 minutes to an hour. We'll skip ahead in the VOD and we'll watch maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And then we'll skip ahead again an hour or whatever and watch some more. And that's what we're looking for is like, can we skip ahead in the VOD and watch for 30 seconds to a minute? And like, are we still entertained? And as much as it does suck to watch your VODs back, if you are not entertained by yourself, if you are not sitting there watching your VOD and like, is this somewhat entertaining to me? Is this fun? If that answer's a no, then like who else would be entertained if you're not even entertained by your own stream, right? So even today, I still watch my VODs back. I usually watch my VODs back. Well, actually, the main reason I watch my VODs back is to catch up on missed chat comments because I miss so many messages. But I also watch my VODs back to like monitor my audio, like how does it sound, how am I feeling, like I watch myself back to see how my lighting was, did my chroma key screw up in any way and I didn't notice it when I was live. But also I am looking back at that like entertaining aspect and like, can I go back to a VOD and like, do I laugh at myself, do I laugh at what was happening, like am I entertained? You know, I do that quite a bit, and that I don't think that should ever stop, no matter how much you grow, like, or how big you get.
It pains me to go back and watch any of my VODs, but I do it.
It sucks, but
probably not as much as I should, but maybe like every, I don't know, like month and a half, 2 months, I'll go back and I'm like, all right, I should probably check how everything is sounding or how everything is looking. And if my awful sense of humor is still terrible. And you know, you check the list to make sure, and then you know you can go back about your day, but you should definitely go back and watch.
You and I are gonna watch back this podcast VOD, I'm sure,
and it's gonna
and
hurt.
Scrutinize and judge ourselves. And then I guess the last kind of tip I have for like basic how to while live is just, you know, even if you're streaming to 0 viewers, like always make sure that you are regularly over your chat. The last thing that you want to do is delay greeting your first viewer to your stream.
Yeah.
Like don't miss them. You've got someone in there that's actually saying hi.
You want to keep an eye on this chat at all times.
Yeah.
Don't get too sucked into the game. Because like the way I see it, like the way I've always seen Twitch is, sure, there are those people that play games amazingly and they can get away with just like focusing hardcore on the gameplay, like their gameplay is really just that good. But for most people, your gameplay is not that interesting, and so the reason why somebody would be there is for you. And if you're too wrapped up in your game to make any sort of a connection, then they're gone. Possibly forever. So make sure.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
Giving them at least a hello.
Yeah. And then just to flip back to that point that you made earlier about taking a break, like, yeah, I know when you're newer, you don't want to leave your stream. You don't want to have that break because I think for a lot of us, like, there's that chance that a viewer will leave when you go on a break, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like the one person that's
And-
watching you, if you go on a break for 5 minutes, oh man, they're not going to be able to wait. They'll leave.
Right. But honestly, like, I'm gonna say, who cares? Like, your health is way more important than
Oh yeah,
any viewers.
I mean, you'll have viewers come and go constantly, and which honestly makes me that's a sad part of streaming that you'll come to find is like people will come and go, like they do, and I mean, there's nothing you really do to stop it.
Yeah, like, you know, not to put kind of a down view on streaming, but if you're gonna start streaming and, you know, some people are gonna come into your stream, you know, right from the get-go, like, it sucks, but not everybody does stick around, right? You know, you will evolve as a streamer, and you likely will evolve in a direction that those original people might not be a fan of. And don't get like I actually have a personal experience with this, because one of my first viewers stopped coming by my stream, and, you know, I didn't want to be that person that reached out and asked like why do you not come around anymore, but we ended up having a conversation one day where they actually admitted to why they didn't come around anymore, and it was just like they very much preferred to watch like sub 5 average viewer streams. Like they liked that very, very small,
it's like a very
community
intimate
feel
type thing. Yeah.
And I grew, and they weren't a fan of that anymore. Like they weren't, like, my stream grew to a point where, you know, chat was a lot busier and things were happening, and, you know, alerts were going off and all kinds of stuff, and that just wasn't their vibe. And it's like, but you can't apologize for that. Like, you can't apologize. You can't apologize
for your success. No.
Right. So, like, yeah, viewers are going to come and go, and, you know, it kind of sucks because, like, you do miss them. Like, you know, there are people from way back when I first started that don't come around as much anymore that I definitely do miss, or don't come around at all, I should say. But don't let that discourage you. Streaming is very much like your journey. Yeah, people are going to come and go, but for the people that end up staying, I don't know, like the people that end up staying they make it worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
you're there for you're an entertainer.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, with that, I love how our planned 1 hour podcast turned into nearly 2, but honestly, I feel like, guys, that might just keep happening, especially when we get guests on here.
Oh goodness.
Especially when we get guests on here.
We'll have to get the feedback and be like, I got so sick of listening to them talk about 45 minutes ago.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm going to say to defend. Because we're doing this live, I think makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Right?
It's very easy to lose track of time, and there's no, like, you can't, like, I can't just go and like edit out pieces of the tangents we go off on, like you could in maybe like a pre-recorded one. Yeah.
And I haven't been reading chat, but I do see chat in the corner of my eye. So, you know, I've seen this whole podcast, chat's been busy and people have been talking, which is great. So I guess to wrap this up, Joe and I just want to say a giant thank you to everybody that tuned in for the very first pilot episode of the NookCast.
Thank you.
We're really excited for the topics that we have planned. We do have a big list of topics. We've got other Nook members that have volunteered and raised their hands to be like, I want to come on this podcast with you guys to talk about this. So stay tuned. We're going to have a bunch of content in the future to push out here. Twitch.tv, the NookCast, where you are right now. This is where all the podcasts are going to be broadcast from. If you want to go check out myself and Joe and other Nook members, twitch.tv/teams/the Nook is where you'll find all of our links to our channels.
How many of us are there? Do we know?
34.
34? Oh wow, that's a lot of people. We got 34 people, and they're on all the time.
I think so.
You should probably go and watch some of them.
So, and also, guys, please follow the Nook on Twitter to stay up to date. It's where we're going to share Nook Spotlight episodes. It's where we're going to communicate the big dig. It's where we're going to have more out of context quote polls. It's where we're going to share, like, we've got weekly kind of question of the weeks that get posted where people can have a really good conversation about
There's been a couple
streaming related stuff.
Really good conversations that happen.
Our Twitter is basically like the hub for the Nook. So if you guys are not following the Nook Twitter, you need to. It's a great place to find out everything. And then our YouTube channel, the Nook Spotlight. First episode is going to be a week today, and it's mine with Hampy. So if you want to know more about me over and above what I just shared today, some things might be a little bit repetitive. I'm sorry, but if you wanna get insight on that, we've got a bunch of Nook members lined up for those episodes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
You
they're pretty. Honestly, they're really
subscribe.
good. They're really good. I watched the ones that have come out already. They're pretty good.
They're not live yet.
No, not yet. But they'll be coming at you.
We got the insider scoop on them, and yes, they are really good. So, with that, anything to add, Joe, to our closing on this?
No, just really thank you all, everybody that showed up, hung out, sat through our 47 minutes overtime. Well, hopefully we can trim it down a little bit. The first one though, we're ironing it out. We'll get it working. It'll be fine.
We're vibing. It's good. Honestly, yeah. I mean, podcasts are kind of some can be on the longer side anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're really excited for what's to come. So hopefully this got our feet wet. Hopefully for you guys as listeners, a good kind of first look. I am terribly sorry about my dog.
The dog runs the stream. We all know this. This is nothing new. If you've ever seen any stream with an animal in it, the animal runs the stream.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. I guess with that, should we go raid Space Shark? She's still alive, right? Doing the big dig.
Oh. Wait.
What kind of?
I guess Tug would Tug have to do that? Can we do that?
I think. Does it have to be?
I don't know how modding works.
I don't know. Actually, this is a good point. Can mods set up a raid? I don't even know if that's possible. Sorry, guys. We're gonna have a bit of a wonky ending to the stream because we don't know how this works. But also raid call. We don't. What are we gonna do?
Mods cannot.
Just try it. Okay. Tug. Unless because you're just broadcasting to the
I'm broadcasting to the channel, but I don't think I can actually do anything with that. I've got no power here.
Let me see.
I can turn it off.
Oh, there we go. I can do it.
Oh, you can do it.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, well, there we are. We got it going.
Okay, we're good. All right, guys. I am Space Shark. We are going to send you guys to her. She is continuing on the Big Dig Minecraft hardcore run with it's we talked about at the beginning of stream, but 14 Nookians from it was the end of August going until November.
A bunch of dorks digging a hole together.
one save file, hardcore mode. So Space Shark is working on that right now. It is her first time playing, guys. So go give her some love. I don't know what we're gonna do for raid call. NookCast. Thank you, Lexi.
There guys, you go. Copy that one. Lexi got
it. Copy, but use your own emotes because I don't know if I'm subbed to Lexi to be able to use those. But NookCast raid. Let's do it.
Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna copy it anyway.
Here, I'm gonna use the pride hearts. For this. So if anyone wants to copy that one, then go for it. NookCast raid with the pride emotes. But guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate and love all of you. Thanks for making this easy for us. And please go enjoy Space Shark. Have a wonderful time. Take care.